Sustenance is success. There is no successful business person. There is only sustainable business person. You can fail, you can pass, but you are continuing to be in business. You are running your own race. There is no competition. You are running your own. So you just be consistent and be at it. If you make a small success every day, celebrate it, be happy, praise Almighty, proceed. Start very small. Don't get very greedy and run after these big institutions asking for millions and all. Just start very small. If you start very small, you won't even need the money that you think you need. The problem is the size that you have imagined. Had you reduced that size, you wouldn't be needing so much money. There is no failure if you are willing to scale down. If auditing is not in demand in this country, or if nobody comes, I can always pay everybody else and then settle their dues. And with 1 or 2 clients, I can still make as much money as I'm making now.
Welcome to the show today, Mr. Gurumoorthi. Yes, sir. How are you doing? Hey everybody, welcome to Deep Dive Sessions. My name is Gurumoorthi. Thank you for stopping by. On this channel, we talk about business, personal development, and personal finance. So if any of those speak to you, you're in the right place. All you gotta do is subscribe. Today we have a special guest. His name is Mr. Gurumoorthi, a man that came from India in 1985 to Botswana and is a Motswana and worked his way up and built one of the leading consulting, auditing, and accounting firms in Botswana. A man has generated millions and knows the ins and outs of business, and he's going to be sharing his insights with us today. So I'm very, very excited about that. So if you find value in this episode, please kindly subscribe. It helps us know if you're actually enjoying our content. Like this video, and if you could share it with one friend, that would be legendary. Let's keep that. So you do auditing, tax consulting, and accounting. Talk to me about, and you consult businesses actually. So when a business comes to you, what is the first step in terms of diagnosing this business to check its health? What is your lens on it?
Normally, it's like a nursery school. You drop the children. In the same way, people come and they drop their ideas, right? So they just say, this is what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And then they expect me to take the idea through my mind and then say something that comes to my mind so that they feel happy about their idea. They feel confident about their idea.
Yes.
They check their idea with me, right? And then I can't give an immediate reply. It's very difficult to give a reply. I don't know if the idea would be good or not.
Yes.
So I go through some prayer sessions, and I also look around.
Yes.
Then finally I tell them it's a brilliant idea. My mind never thought about it. It's a good idea. What we can do is to help you, in terms of obeying laws and regulations of the country. We can take you through, this is what you need to do, this is how you do it. So we ultimately solve the problem, but what gives us money is the products that we sell in the process of giving them the solution. When we give a solution, it gives them a lot of happiness and they remain with us. So most of the clients, they don't normally leave us because the service is personal. They continue to remain with us. So even if they pay a little bit more in a year, they point that out and they pay a little bit less in the following year. So the relationship is because of the solution. Right? And I live and I wear this dress and I drive that car because of the money that they give me.
I loved it. I loved it. So I wanted to, people come to you because they're looking for solutions. They want those kind of breakthroughs. So what are some of the common problems that you experience when business people come to you? I don't know if you're willing to share some of those that we can now even find solutions for.
You see, there are a lot of books that have knowledge on entrepreneurship and all that, right? I know I have some knowledge about this entrepreneurship thing, that is for sure, right?
Yes.
Books also carry some knowledge. What I know is maybe a drop in the ocean, right? But the beauty is, if a person comes to you, the talent is really in applying the knowledge that you have, or if you don't have, you have to seek it. Somehow you have to read
to look
books or
for it.
talk to somebody else or whatever. You have to acquire that knowledge, and you should apply that knowledge in his specific situation. So our focus is basically on the application of the knowledge so that he can execute it. It's like a capsule that a doctor gives, and he becomes okay. It's like that. So we can't give him a lecture of whatever we know, nor can we tell him idea is good and this is the products we sell. So we really have to understand him and then find out if the idea is befitting to this culture, this economy, this size, and this people, and all that. Then we can tell them, yeah, I think you have a competitive advantage, you can do that, and things like that. We normally ask, why are you doing what you are doing? I mean, that is what drives the solution. Everybody wants to start a business, but not every business is the same. I mean, every business is different from one another, right? Even if you have another deeper dive, for example, it will be different from deep dive. So every person is different, every business is different. So our talent is in application. So if you ask me something, I'll keep on saying, it will apply to some person, it may not apply to some person. So that is the problem with the type of knowledge that you are asking. But I can generally say something if you're really curious. I mean, if you want to get something, I can say something generally. Again, there's another problem with this entrepreneurship, right? There are so many types of entrepreneurs, so many types of them. Every successful business person, if you tell me 10 of them, right? There are 10 different successful business people. There are 10 different situations, 10 different brains, 10 different successes. Right? And 10 different strategies, 10 different motivations. So the game is completely different, even if they were to sell the same product. You see? So there is some fit. So I'll put it very generally, but it's very difficult to particularize it, right? Okay, so what I'm going to tell you is for, you can say, small businesses. I don't want to tell you, there are certain things that will apply for big businesses. I'm talking of small businesses, right? So you need to really find out the problem. What is the problem that I'm going to solve? So nobody is interested in your solution. People are interested in your problem-finding ability. If you come to me tomorrow morning with a list of 10 problems, I'll be excited. So don't worry about the solutions. They can come. Tell me, look at the people, look at the environment, talk to them, and come up with the list of problems. Real problems.
The real pain points.
Yeah, you are right. That is a right word. Pain killer, not the paracetamol. Tell me that problem that is a pain killer, not a problem that is a paracetamol. I mean, we don't want that problem. Tell me a pain killer problem. So if you have 10, 20 problems, then you choose the best problem you want to solve. Right? So you want to solve it for the whole world. So you make your idea very, very big because the same problem may be experienced by so many other people. So you have to literally grow your dream big and big and big and big out of that problem that you have discovered. It's a problem. You know, problem discovery is a scientific process. It's not an emotional instinct and all that. You have to really do some experimental design, conduct some interviews, observe, and all that, and get a problem. Once you get a problem, it goes into your brain, and then you imagine millions and trillions of people having the same kind of a problem. So you start dreaming big, right? That is step 2, right? So problem discovery, and then you can just say that big imagination. And then the third step is start very small. Don't get very greedy and run after these big institutions asking for millions and all. Just start very small. If you start very small, you won't even need the money that you think you need.
You just need a customer.
The problem is the size that you have imagined. Had you reduced that size, you wouldn't be needing so much money. Like if you want to buy a hotel, you will need a lot of money. If you want to rent a hotel, you will have less money. If you want to have a guest house, you will have even less money. If you want to rent a guest house, you will still have lesser money. If you want to be an agent to get customers for the guest houses, you will still need no money. So it's just a question of downsizing it.
Right.
And then make it as small as possible that you think you can start off with. So start small, but do it now. Now, the moment
Do it
the idea,
immediate, yeah.
before you sleep today, just implement that small thing and then keep on, replicate it, do it, grow it, be in that line, gain more knowledge and see how you can sort of scale it. It's a scientific process that is available to scale. It's possible. But the general trick is this: problem discovery, number one. There's nothing you can do about it. Imagine big, start small. Unfortunately,
And
be
move
at
quick.
it every day. Be at it every day. You are running your own race. There's no competition. You are running your own. So you just be consistent and be at it. If you make a small success every day, celebrate it, be happy, praise Almighty, proceed. And then you won't even know how many millions went through your pocket.
Yeah.
That's how I have seen people progressing. Most of the people who, so that's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what I like in my theory, because I see most of them. In fact, theory came from my observation of those people.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're right, because I actually wanted to ask you that, what
functions.
is entrepreneurship to you?
Oh, okay.
When you think about entrepreneurship, what is it to you?
I can
what is
tell
your
you-
unique?
You just do 5 things. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you simply do 5 things, right? You have to sell. There's nothing you can do. If you don't know how to sell, please don't become an entrepreneur. Maybe you can find a person who can sell, but not on day one, right?
Yeah,
1001th day, maybe you can have a person who can sell for you. You have to sell, or you have to be sales conscious. It's important. Otherwise, there's no way you will survive. Selling, right? You can even stop with it and forget the other 4. It is so important. Selling.
It's the core.
Very, very much the core. I think that's the right word. The core is selling, right? Selling. Number 2, reduce cost as much as possible. Please reduce cost. Find innovative ways of reducing cost. Find innovative ways of increasing sales. Innovative ways of reducing cost.
So you want to increase sales while reducing cost?
You have to. You have to reduce cost, but at the same time, you cannot allow the sales to reduce. That is the trick, you see. Somehow you have to try to increase the sale. Like you must increase the number of events you do here, given the same space. It's something like that. How do you do that? Or even renting lesser space than what you now have. So on the one side of the brain should think of increasing sales. At the same time, unfortunately, the same brain has to think of reducing the cost, which is very, very, very difficult, right? You have to do that. There's nothing you can do, right? Obviously, there is always, the third thing is you have to be very innovative. Can't I do the same thing in a different way? I'm getting bored. In fact, you should be a person who gets bored so that you start doing the same thing with so many different ways, which is very, very important. That is number 3. You will see every entrepreneur doing it. You see, they will not repeat the same thing. They will delegate that. They will make a designation. They will make a position. They'll make a department if it becomes repetitive. But when they want to do something, they will always do that is not repetitive. Let me try this. Let me try that. Let me get this. Let me get that. So they will always be innovative. That is important. And when you do anything, number 4, you must express yourself through it. It must be a wow kind of a job. People must praise you. They must, you must really celebrate. So you must really be involved in that gesture. That is all what you are. So you don't
Just
see
that
your
X factor.
face. Yeah, you don't see your face and eyes and nose. You see all those things in that bloody job.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you must do a wow job. If you do these 4, you can call yourself an entrepreneur, with an I, not with an E.
Not with an E.
You can, if you do this 4, you are an entrepreneur. You can be an employee and you can be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
You can be an employee, anything. You can be a director of a board. You can be an entrepreneur.
Yes.
You can be, but you can't be an entrepreneur until you take that bloody risk. I mean,
Yeah.
unfortunately, you should be able to take risk, and people will call you crazy. They'll call you stupid.
Yeah.
I don't even know if there are any other worse words. They can call you the way they want to call you.
Yeah.
You must take audacious risks, but there is a calculation that you do, but people don't believe in that calculation, but you have to take a risk. They may say it is a blind risk, but you must take a calculator. In your mind, if it fails, I have plan B. If plan B fails, I have plan C. So that's how you take the risk. So you must have a proper risk-taking culture. I mean, it can be learned. It's not something that you are blessed with, you are born with. It's all trainable. You must be able to take risk. But you must be fundamentally an entrepreneur. You must survive the 1,000 days. Then you can be trained. When you are scared, you can't be trained. I mean...
Oh, so you have to go through 1,000 first and then...
And then all these things, it will come.
So 1,000 is just like the foot in the door.
If you do this, if you take risk, I goes off and E comes. You are an entrepreneur. So if you study most of the people who are entrepreneurs, you have a lot of them. It's not nice to name them. If you really become close to them, then you will understand that they do these 5. You go and see a gentleman who has been a business person for maybe for past 30, 40 years, he's a member of the board, he calls himself a chairperson and all that, he will still be selling. He will still be worried about reducing cost. Whatever he does, he will still be innovative. He will still do a wow job and he will still take risk. So you will see them doing it all the time. They don't worry about how much money came and how much money went because they will always get. I mean...
Seasons change.
Yeah. But they will get enough. All the time. But they have to concentrate on doing these 5. It's like a grit. Can I say it's a grit? I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
You just do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lovely.
That's what it is.
For a successful person, we normally talk about mindset. You need to have that mindset. You also need to have like the skill set, because skills have utility. Because if you don't have skills, they're not useful to the marketplace. And then there's beliefs and traits, which I want us to get into. What are some of the beliefs and traits that you had to be intentional about? You had to say, what do you believe about yourself and the world that allows to create that success? I don't know if my question makes sense. Yes.
Whatever sense it made to my mind, I can reply, right?
Yes.
But we are good at that anyway. All of us here are good at that. Any person who wants to become an entrepreneur already is in possession of that. That's what I saw in most of the people. It is, let's say you have a talent. You recognize the talent. You want to grow the talent, right? So we want to really do our best, right? But we don't really want to spend a minute on whether that is going to be useful to that guy. So is our talent saleable? Is our talent useful? Is our talent necessary? So we then cheat ourselves. When we think back, we cheat ourselves to say that I'm talented. I think it will be bought. We are doubly sure. I have a solution. But the thing is, we are so egoistic that we don't even empathize. I mean, it's just that awareness. Is there a real need? Can I talk to him? Can I sit with him? Can I do that customer journey? Can I do that mapping? Where is his exactly pain point? What is it that I can comfort him with? You really have to sit with the customer and then go back and search. If you have a talent, well and good. If you don't have, find someone who has a talent and use him. At the end of the day, my job is not to express my talent, but to do something that addresses the need. So it's ego versus usefulness. It's not about whether I'm great or not, whether I am accepted or not. How malleable I am, how soft I am, how admissible I am, how flexible I am, how approachable I am is a measure of success. Right? Not how good I am and all that. There are people who can be better than you. even if you are the best. There will still be somebody else better than you.
Definitely.
Yeah, I don't know if I answered your question. You see?
Yes, you actually
In a
did.
way.
What is a startup that is suitable in today's environment? And what do you think about a startup? Because there's a difference between an SME and a startup.
Yeah, you are right. SME is definitely different from startup. And what distinguishes it is the scalability. That's all. I mean, if it is a startup, it is infinitely scalable. I mean, like Microsoft is looking for where is my next billion going to come from. So you can scale it to any extent. And you have already got a software. So fixed costs are already there. So they are only worried about how much money I'll spend to acquire a customer. What is the lifetime value of a customer? So long as the lifetime value is more than the cost of acquiring a customer, let me scale. So theory has changed now. It is scaling. That is a startup. You are asking me, what is that great startup that you can have today in Botswana? It is a very difficult question for me to answer because I come from that generation. Remember, however deeply I think, a frog is only a frog. It can't just become a snake, right? I mean, so, but there is still, there are chances. But what I can do is, being a mentor, I can possibly get that enlightenment. When I see an entrepreneur of this generation, when I mentor him or her, then I may be blessed with some ideas to supply to that person on the startup that he can do. It is quite possible, right? Yes. So you can do startups here, definitely. I know, like if you go to a BDIH, Digital Innovation Hub, they have incubation programs and they outsource to people. They come and they incubate the entrepreneurs and all that. So they are all startups. There were about 30 of them. 10 of them were not startups, they were SMEs, but it's fine. We still had them in the class. But the other 20 were solid startups.
So the difference in scalability is essentially saying how easy it is to scale the company or the business. Because an SME will start, slowly, but you're saying a startup will start and it's looking to scale. If it's opening stores, it's opening 10 stores in the next 14 months or so. But an SME will open one store and then it will open the next one after a year and a half, and then another one. Is that what it means?
No, it will only have one store on the cloud. Right?
Yeah.
And then it will have millions of customers. It's like a tech startup, right? You have a tech startup where technology...
leveraging technology.
Purely leveraging technology.
Okay.
So the startup literally works on leveraging technology. Like you take Elon Musk and his Tesla. Previously, German cars, Japanese cars, American cars. I mean, look at Tesla. It is not a car. It is a technology. There's nothing there inside. I mean...
It's a battery.
Yeah. So the IT has changed the design of the product. And the beauty is, in those days, if you go to General Motors, they will first design. They won't... Now, you don't design without a customer. You don't make a software without a customer. You throw version 1, you throw beta version, you make the customer suffer and then learn from his suffering and then improve the product. Right. So your designing includes the customer experience now. So you produce design. So it was not like that at that time. So it's a completely different business model, business process, business innovation theory. So I'm good at understanding those theories and models, but I can't answer that question. Tell me one opportunity where I can scale. You can go to Nigeria, find an opportunity. You can have a startup here, incubate it here, and then try. I know of a lady who is doing her PhD or something like that in innovation, and she's a great software kind of an engineer. And then she did her master's and all that in South Africa, and she's trying to go to Kenya and trying to pitch. But she is a Botswana, she is here. Can you see how she's trying to scale using a South African technology in a Kenyan environment for the benefit of Botswana? So that's how you can scale. Sitting here that's with these people, what is there to scale? I mean, so you scale, Nigeria, you go to Tanzania, you can think of an application for farmers in Tanzania easily, and you can do it here, but Tanzanians can't do it. So we can at least create a climate of innovation. We can make, like you had Like you had in those days diamonds, and then you encouraged tourism, then you did manufacturing and FAP. Like that, perhaps you can strategize. You can tell the policymakers, why don't you have this as an innovation hub, the whole country? So invite a couple of Zambians to come or Kenyans to come, let them innovate. We are co-creating with them because they are innovating on our soil with our people. And it is scaling the whole of Africa. So it can become a hub like that. We are already a financial services hub. We can be a hub for innovation. That's how we get exposed. We have to get exposed and then we can scale. That's where the opportunities will come.
And you're also the co-founder of Angels Network Botswana. And I want us to actually talk about that. You deal a lot with people that come to you. I want funding. I want this and that. What is a worthy investment that you could make? When an entrepreneur comes to you, they say, Mr. Guru, I have a business X, Y, and Z. We do this is our product, this is our services. What do you look out for so that they can reverse engineer from that?
Sure. We are about 50 people. It's called Angel Network Botswana.
Yes.
It's not so much the number. If a couple of them go away now, we are not bothered because we really want them to give money, their own money. They must be high net worth individuals. They must be able to give money from their pocket. And
what does
invest.
high net worth mean? Is there
high net worth means in our association, we said that if you can invest 100,000 pula in a year, then I can call you high net worth. So it's our definition. So there's no definition like that. But we have understood it that way for our Angel Network Botswana. Maybe it's $1 million in India. India also has angel networks, right?
Yeah.
So here we are okay with 100,000 bucks. We are 48 people or 50 people. So 50 times 100,000 can be the maximum capital if all of us are will agree to invest. Normally, 2-3 people like investing, 5-6 people like investing, and those 5 people or 6 people are called syndicates. So Angel Network allows syndication. It allows people to come and pitch to them. And then it talks to its members to say, do you want any more information? Do you need, can I do due diligence? And Angel Network pays for due diligence and collects it from the syndicate later when it invests. So Angel Network is about investing in startups, highly scalable businesses. If you say, I've got a big piece of land in Mohoritsane, I want to put a hospital, you mustn't come to Angel Network. So it is startups. You know, if you have an idea, there is an application. You can go to Angel Network Botswana. You can Google.
.com,
Yeah, you can Google and you have the app. Just put up the application. If you know how to make a pitch, make a pitch. I can send you the format of a pitch, upload it. Then it goes to the deals flow. Deals flow looks at it. Then it refers it to mentorship committee. I mean, I co-chair the mentorship committee with Mr. Mohobe. And then we mentor you to at least pitch beautifully so that you get the money. Right? It's a journey. It takes time, but we try to do it in about 4 weeks' time, maximum. So you will make a pitch, and then we call angels. We call also Josie angels from South Africa. Yeah, we call a lot of angels from neighboring countries. They all watch. If we can't give, they will give. Sometimes we give so that they can give. So somehow we try to invest and encourage startups. So that's what we do in Angel Network Botswana. 50 people, 2 years. We have invested over 2 million pula. We have invested over 2 million pula. Maybe.
How many startups?
3. One startup was doing valuation in using information technology. You go and put a plot number, you will get a value, something like that. So they are doing that sort of a startup because valuation is a problem. You want to know the value of your property, whatever. Like that is one startup. There is one lady who is an SME who is trying to do some, cosmetics, these beauty products with morula oil and all that, which is a local thing. So
lovely.
Like that, we have about four ventures. We also contributed to a fund, African fund, so that it is invested in other countries in Africa because we ourselves don't have exposure. We gave it to a guy in Mauritius, who knows about so many countries, and we have asked him to invest in those places because we don't get enough startup people here to come and pitch. Our problem is we don't have startups. Because people can't think regionally, people don't have exposure, they have to go get ideas, but they are brilliant and they can make software.
So the goal is to think
that's
regionally.
That's our problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have to think regionally, scale.
You have to scale.
Think regionally. Not just Botswana, scale. And
Yes.
and what is the other one? The other things, the other determinant factors that make a
You can easily listen to people who will give you ideas. Like I might give you an idea that I think is a good startup idea, but then you have to follow that experimentation. You have to really confirm if my idea is good without trusting me. You have to follow the process and make sure that customers agree with me.
Yes.
Because I have my own ego and I'll just say, yeah, it's important. Only thing, you just make one customer. Right now, the beauty of today's millionaire or a billionaire is you only need one customer, right? And you have to have a solution. It's called a problem solution fit. So do you have a proper problem solution fit for that one customer? And then we'll worry about scaling. Sit with the customer, sort out his pain, see his happy face. And then, once you are done, I'll give you 1 year for it. And then can you get 1 to 100? Then 100 to 10,000. That's all. And you will see already you are touching 10 million somewhere at the end of 3 years. Just that one guy should be very happy. Micro marketing. We don't have to do advertisements, superstores. No, micro marketing. One guy can easily become 10,000 guys because there are 10,000 such people in the world. Not here.
not here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all. We need to, that software can find out. Facebook can find out how many such people are there in the whole world. You might have a person like, I might have a person like him in India, in Japan, and they will all be drawn by the Facebook or WhatsApp group or whatever. There is artificial intelligence which will trace them. They will subscribe. You will get money. Pool or dollars, whichever currency you want, you scale. That's how it is.
Okay.
Nowadays, that is how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do startups fail? What are some of the areas we need to look at and identify and nip in the bud as startups? If you're looking to you have a startup right now, what are some of the common areas where startups fail, especially in our context in Botswana?
Common areas where startups fail.
Startups and just businesses.
There is talent, but they can't find opportunities. There is no focus on finding problems. There is no focus on micro-marketing. People are looking for easy way out. They want someone to employ them, to maintain a software or troubleshoot a software or something like that. But they are not really trying to earn money by developing a software because they don't know the process of the startup. How do you do the startup? So what I can perhaps do is to tell you more about the startup theory, right? It will be like a sort of we can make some tutorials for it. The whole theory of startup, how does it happen? It's like an incubation process, which is written or which is pictured or which is put in a graph or something like that. So people understand clearly what is the startup process. Once you spend 3-4 months involving yourself with that process, then I promise you it will be a worthwhile experience. You will come up with lots and lots of startups. You just have to know the process. It's easy, it's trainable. Maybe that material is not available to you, but you have a lot of knowledge of how to make a program or something.
I don't know how many of us would like to be part of that. We can even show of hands. With your permission, Mr. Guru, we could set it up sometime.
Yeah, create a little WhatsApp group of all the people. I'll put those materials and then ask questions. Then we can co-create, generate something wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes.
I guess, the
all
people
of
that
us,
are here,
not me alone, but all of us can do it.
are lucky enough to be able to experience that.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
You would have done something much more than just asking me questions and hearing my answers. You see.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Guru, my last question for you is: how do you want to be remembered as Mr. Guru?
Forget me. I mean, why do you want to remember me? There's no need for you to remember me.
Yeah.
But if whatever I said, if it works and if you
but
can
what is the impact you want to have?
What is the impact that I want to? I want to see everybody better than me myself. Right? If I'm A, I want to see all of you as A+.
Yes.
Then that is exactly what I want to do. So whatever I could learn, I'm sure I want to see somebody else learn more. If I can facilitate that, I will be the happiest person.
Wow.
That is my goal.
Yeah, lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. Thank you guys for watching this episode. We really hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. Deep Dive is dedicated to bringing you the most comprehensive and engaging information about business, personal finance, and personal development. Make sure to hit that subscribe button to stay updated with all our latest content. If you liked this video, give it a like to show your support and help us reach a wider audience. And don't forget to share this video with your friends and your family who may be interested. Sharing helps us grow our community and connect with like-minded individuals. Leave a comment below and give us your biggest takeaway on this episode. If you're interested in being a part of our live studio audiences, make sure to register for the next show. Can't make it to the show? No problem. Check out our Patreon page to watch the full episode and get exclusive access to more great content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode of The Deep Dive.